Magandang umaga. Good morning, good day to everybody. Welcome to Kapwa Filipino podcast. In today's episode, I am excited to let you know that we have a new guest and a new topic, and it is about Baybayin. Baybayin, our original script, our heritage, and our national pride as Filipino. And today we are being joined by Minifred Gavino. She is amazing friend and very generous of her time to share with us her insights about the how, the what, and most importantly, the why of Baybayin.
Okay, so good morning, Joanne,
Good
and good
morning.
morning to everyone viewing or listening to this beautiful podcast, Kapwa
Mhm.
Filipino. And it's nice to see you again, Joanne. And for this time, in this conversation about our heritage and our pride. So my name is Mini Gavino or Mini Fred Gavino, and I'm here right now from in the Philippines. And I am a teacher, and one of the things that I teach is about culture, particularly about cultural well-being. And I'm also an artist, and I use buying in different ways so that it can be integrated with other forms, so that it's presented in contemporary times that people can relate. And also, I'm a facilitator in a NGO which is called Kinhawa, so that our aim is to give Kinhawa to people, or how you call that in English? um, is just isness or lightness of being. And this is integrated the mind, body, heart, and spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And regards to Miss Leia and the rest of the staff. Yeah, I miss everybody. Yeah. So, Mini, being an educator and being an artist, say I have a little child with me and said, "Mom, what is baybayin?" Beside me telling him or her that, oh, it's our original script or original system or way of writing. Like we write A this way, we write B this way. So, can you please tell us a little bit of maybe history, maybe basic facts about Baybayin so that our listener will have like a grounding information?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Baybayin is the traditional or pre-colonial writing script
Mhm.
of the. It's not Philippines yet because there was no Philippines during before the Spaniards came, but there's a writing system already
Mhm.
found on records from the islands of Manila. At least we're talking about for Baybayin. And there are also other writing systems that is found in Mindoro and also in Palawan.
Mm.
And one of the things is at this point, we're trying to do research artifacts or items um, of Baybayin or other writing system that we have, because we know for the fact that during the coming of um, foreigners or Spaniards, this is being destroyed. And so if a child will ask me, what is Baybayin? So I say that this is the traditional pre-colonial writing system that we have.
Mhm.
And so that there's a mode already of communication
Right.
among the people. And it's not only the um, older people, or both men and women can write, as well as old and young. And also your different status in life, which is good to know because um, we have freedom
Mhm, mhm.
to communicate, to write, and it is used. The records that we have right now, one could be about signature,
Mm-hmm.
And for me, this is very important because that reflects your identity as a person and also as a collective person. So, if we try to see also, based on the records, the research or documents that we have,
Mm-hmm.
um, this is used also to account events
Mm-hmm.
and also uh, poetry, also about everyday happenings that one could express
Mm-hmm.
through uh, writing. But I'm shifting also those in also in Mindoro, wherein they write
Mm-hmm.
their script on the bamboo slab using um, a knife. Yes.
What you just told us is that in today's generation, in our generation, that we are using Baybayin as a way of um, as a means of identity by using it to sign for our national ID, right? So is that's allowed already? So it's
Well,
recognized?
for me, I when I changed my driver's license,
Uh-huh.
I wrote it in Baybayin, and that's a public. It's a government
It's a
ID,
national
so that's
ID.
been
Okay.
accepted. And also um in the bank, so I use that also. I'm just waiting that for my passport when it will be changed, renewed. I will uh change it into Baybayin. I mean, other nationalities can use their own script, why not our own? It is something that's personal
Mm-hmm.
and that I can decide to change my signature and that I was able to use it.
Okay.
I mean, it is something to think about. Why not? You know,
That's
you can
true.
start with your informal signature, and because it's sort of like a for me, it's a way to um, do it an everyday practice or to show it in uh, public documents. Like they will, mom, can you sign this? If you go to a conference and they will say, oh, what is this? So it's just a starting conversation already, and fellow Filipinos can learn from that, even the signature that they see and yeah, on the paper.
Okay. That is very empowering for all of us, right? So in our current situation, are there known Filipinos whom we say expert scholars of our baybayin? And I think that's part of the what of what is the current status of our script. Like in the national level, it's starting to be a mainstream practice to use it even in our national ID and hopefully in our passport. What about using it as a means of communication or a means of learning our alphabet? Are they starting? Is the Department of Education trying to see that, oh, it's important, it's relevant, and it's a high time for all of us to reclaim this original script as a means of reclaiming our identity, our national pride, and it is really a concrete way of demonstrating our love for our country and rerouting ourselves to the rich traditional knowledge of our ancestors, diba?
I
Okay.
think it was about because the reason why I got into Baybayin was actually I wanted to know who am I? Who
Mm.
am I as a person? Who am I as a Filipino? And particularly because there comes a point in your life wherein, who am I? Why am I a Filipino? What is my gift as a person? What's my talent as a Filipino and as a person that I can celebrate to be who I am? And so Baybayin came. I researched about in 2008, and there were
Mm.
only two sites and just so minimum about Baybayin.
Uh-huh.
Um, but a year after, about 5 years or 10 years, and even now, there are so many things that can be seen in the internet about Baybayin or our ancient writing script.
Mm-hmm.
And with this observation, I believe that we are in a phase wherein at this point we try to to look to reconnect. And for me personally, Baybayin is one constant in my journey of knowing who I am as a person and as a Filipino. And in the process, I was able to meet um, professors or individuals who eventually went into studying deeper, because there are a lot of Filipinos in the Philippines and other countries, and and even beyond the Filipino nationalities, who
Mhm.
would like to know more about this, about Baybayin. And yes, and there are collaborations. And actually, it's in the law that we should teach it. But meeting teachers, they said that we don't have enough um, materials. And if there are,
Mhm.
it's academic, and which is good.
Mhm.
But how will you translate it from that level to someone who is grade one? So I've met last week of a homeschooler, mother and child, that we gave a workshop. And they are also trying to contribute on how they can put that into the level to be taught to children.
Mhm.
Um, yes. And I think there's a lot of initiative from the government, from the different sectors, which is good. And I think, yes, there is a group, individuals, also um, allowing it to be a national writing system. But personally, I believe that um, we go on a phase of dialogue to listen to different um, agencies or sectors or people. How is their process,
Mhm.
their journey, perhaps 5, 10 years? And then we gather this and then we come up so that it's organic, rather than saying, hey, this is our writing system. You should write, or we should write. But what's the context?
Mhm.
Why?
Mhm.
I mean, is
Mhm.
it because of other countries are doing it? That's valid. But for me, it came from within me. It's not from outside. It's not from here. Because
Mhm.
there's longing. Sorry,
I understand.
because
Yeah.
yes, it's not something that, hey, this is you and I spoon feed you. No, what
Mhm. Mhm.
can you do? Transform me? Why? And then you show me, just like there's one kid, high school, who
Mhm.
came to learn a workshop from us. Can we interview you? Oh, I said, oh, it would be better for you and your classmates to come and learn. And from there, you draw from yourself. What did you learn? What are your insights? What are your reflections? And so there's this one person, one kid, one youth, young people, young person. So I asked about their first is introduce yourself. So
Mhm.
she introduced herself that, my father's telling me that I should be using my Filipino name because it's not a Western name, but the father gave a Filipino name. And when you have a family, if you can have a nickname that is Filipino. And then the child didn't understand. But in the process that we do in Ginhawa, we come up with a reflection, meditation for them to connect about
Mhm.
their culture, relating it to Baybayin, because they're going to come out with a creative artwork of that reflection of that meditation for the youth. It's like a reflection, no?
Mhm.
And then he said, before this meditation, before taking this workshop, I felt like a donut. You know what's a donut? There's a hole.
That's
But
true.
after this
Mhm.
meditation with Baybayin,
Mhm.
or this artwork, that emptiness inside, there's an emptiness, she said, that emptiness was being filled up. Now understood. So for me, there's this, it's okay if, like, I understand why people would put it tattoo, t-shirt, because they want to show, they want to wear, they want to be part of them. And that as a starting point. And then from there, we can go beyond that, like, oh, what is that? Oh, why did you put it on your skin? What does it mean to you? So it starts with that. And so it's okay. And so I'm happy that there are individuals and groups in the country that are doing their own initiatives to use this. And as particular for me, going beyond that, it can be used as, you know, for communication, but it's allowing that symbolic shared identity that we have.
Mhm.
But how can we, uh, it's more of that inner, inner reclamation of the self that had been somehow lost, whether intentional or unintentional. Um, because even I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror, this is my skin, and it just a lot of things to know or to discover on this, and even beyond that, color of the skin. Um, yeah, that's why, like recently in Ilocos, I gave a workshop also, and then after the workshop, said I felt like I came from a 1 week 1 week retreat.
Mm.
Yes,
With the is this with the youth?
it's open to the public. There's mother and child homeschooler. Then there's about
Mm.
20 years old, 30 and 40. It was a very intimate. It was really good. Yeah. So I think it's good for a parent also and the child learning together. I think
Yeah.
that's what happened also during with
Yeah.
Raiden and Ryan.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that it's a intergenerational learning, there's an interaction,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and this is it feels like you belong when you see like there's someone have a tattoo on that, and then it is a connection that's like he knows I know, so there's this sort of a
Mm.
collective
It's
bond
beautiful.
that you can create with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that for me sometimes I don't like to correct someone, even it's wrong. So like perhaps, you would want to check again with that, uh, how it's written, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why maybe you are here, so that you can share your journey to all of us. Because not all of us can recognize this as meaningful as you've experienced. Can you share to us? I saw in one of your pictures, is are those the Apo hiking performers? And they're wearing it?
Yes.
That is a
Okay.
revival, right? It's a concrete revival. They're wearing it on stage.
All
Did you
right.
design those clothing?
Okay. So there are many. Let's start with you said about the energy, all right?
Right.
Energy, and I know that energy is can be seen, can be touched, um, and also intangible.
Feel. Can you feel?
So I'm thinking like, why are those people wearing the tattoos? So that would be a good one research paper or invite them as a whole. Why
Yeah.
why are you having this tattoo and why? No. I can only speak of myself and from what I hear. Um Again, I think we come into phase. There are different phases uh that a process of knowing oneself. And I think this is the time. That is the time that we are reconnecting. And it's not only here already or here, but we would like to show it outside already, like we are ready to connect with fellow Filipinos. And I hope that this will be picked up by the government or um, uh, agencies to really put into place about our writing system. But again, just like what I've said, it would be nice to start from the kids growing up rather than imposing. Because for me, I don't want to impose like, yeah, yes, it's here, bye bye, here. But it's up to you. Like, am I ready to use it or not
Mhm.
to use it? Perhaps not, because we have priorities also, and perhaps that's what happened before, that the alphabet is being the one that's being used, and the Baybayin has been left. But the one that remained, there are still who were using it. However, the passing on, I have not come across yet, no, an account how it's being passed, but we know that there was no school then, but it's a watch and learn. So what
Mhm.
the elders doing, you know, the children will see it, and allowing the teacher to also imitate and to learn. So again, in the context of community learning, rather than this is the one that you will learn, but the everyday a relationship of the child in the with the parents or adults in the community, that's how it's being passed. And there's freedom in that. There's
Mhm.
freedom for that. And going back right now, there are different modes of learning already: social media, YouTube, and other means. But the human touch, the face to face, or even this, but it's person, it's also different, you know. And the Apple Hiking Society 50th anniversary, that was 2023.
Mhm.
The designer, okay, I was bridged, approached me because he wanted to put a Baybayin. And this is the interesting about the designer. Rather than getting all the information from me, he did his research. And then from the research, he gave, he had some questions or clarifications. And what I did is to facilitate so that it will also come out from uh, the designer. But of course, I already have something in mind. So eventually, our process was what he his it was a journey for him, and for me it was a journey, and it was very respectful and what we know and what he knows, and that blended together. And then and it went that way, and it was very beautiful because that's the one that they use from the start to the end. Supposedly there's, I think, change of costume, but eventually from the start to the end it was a consultation. Yes, that's the one. And
Mhm.
it grounded me because it was the time that my aunt died, and the communication was through messenger. And I'm so happy that I was part, because as a young child, the Apple Hiking Society was also a form of connection of that identity, as a
Mhm.
Filipino, the song, the message. And I'm very happy. And during college, I said, when I was young, I said, this is the importance of uh, articulation also for a young child to dream, which I think the soul of the children wearing those tattoo or connecting, there was also a dream as a child. Because when I said, because my elder sister is listening to the OPM of Apple Hiking Society, and I said, oh, when I grow up, I would also like to meet them and perform with them. And lo
Mhm.
and behold, uh, I was a member of a performing group in the school, contemporary yung Gamilang Pilipino. And we had a performance with the Apple Hiking Society. So I said, oh, this is a dream come true. And again, after a decade or two, and now even the Baybayin, as my process of knowing myself,
Mhm.
I was able being rich. So I think the importance of allowing the child to dream, no, and that was unarticulated. It was just here because what I see from my elders, from my sisters, and I think it's very important for us to be wearing or also singing, using the language, even though you're not teaching, the little ones absorb that. Um, so I think that's the importance of, again, the intergenerational. um, tr- being together, the old and the young ones,
Mhm.
in a gathering. That's a form of learning, education, even without teaching, you're teaching already. And it's organic and it's natural. So, yeah. And siguro, Joanne, um, in respect also to those Filipinos whose intention to go out of the country. Because when I was young, I said, I would like to go other country also. And I would like to be sharing promote our culture.
Yeah.
And so I was able to do that when I was in college.
Mhm.
But I also came the realities. Because the first one is in Netherlands and the last leg was in Hawaii. I saw the realities that I don't see that in movies or television then. And that grounded me of the realities in life
Yeah.
as a
Can you
Filipino.
share it with us? The realities you saw.
Yes, because the first one was in Europe,
Mhm.
and the Filipina organizer then approached our leader asking to have some help for women and children. I
Mhm.
was very far because that's what I felt. No? And during the last leg in Hawaii, before the performance, this was way back in the 1990s. Um, the Filipino officer in the consulate have gathered us and mentioned about the crisis of the Filipinos, particularly the youth
Mhm.
identity crisis, because they don't read anything in the book then. I think there was no social media or the starting of Facebook and internet then. So there was no um, not written in the history book, no, the one that they read in school, at least in the context in Hawaii of the story, wherein they don't see any history about Filipinos. And if they see, it's not much and perhaps not that uplifting. And so the officer have told us when you go and perform there, you give hope to the Filipinos, especially to the youth. You go beyond your song and your dances. You go beyond the steps of your dances and beyond the notes of your music or your song. And as a young child,
Yeah.
I was like, huh, this is the reality. I didn't know because it's not being taught when my cousins come here in the country. And so when I went out, like, how do I go beyond my song and dances and what do I do? So in the stage, in the dark, I was trying to look eye to eye and just smiling and radiating love and hope because that's what I know. But fast forward right now, um, that even then wherever you are, whether in the country or in other countries, somehow there's this longing, but I do not know. This is just me. But perhaps that is the context then in the 1990s.
Mhm.
But perhaps now um, there's more spaces of dialogue, just like this one,
Mhm.
to learn and to unlearn. And there may be hurts in the past, but I believe that you look also forward with the joys and how to navigate both these emotions of sadness and joy about here am I or who we are. And in the process, we grow and we mature. And this is part of our personal development, at the same time, our contribution to the collective. Because our journeys, our process, personal, is also collective. So for me, that is going beyond already by buying. And we are touching different values, practices, beliefs of you as a person. And what does it make to you? What meaning does it to you as a person and as a Filipino, or even beyond being a Filipino, but a human being, human person, just with mind, but have a heart and a spirit.
Wow. I have to take a deep breath. Thank you for sharing yourself. Um, you have delivered hope to me as a mother. And for creating this venue, you validate the reason why I have this Kapwa Filipino. This is my attempt to create conversations such as this. So we are trying to um, address the crisis you've seen because that's a reality, Minnie. I am an adult and I was in crisis during my first month here in the US. We are in crisis and I think it's an ongoing and it just depends on what level we are into. And there is a constant search of who we are. And it's unbelievable how you were able to navigate and you were able to share it and you put words on your feelings. And I think that is very, very important for our listeners that you have shared yourself. And you have done more than what I intend, more than the goal of this podcast, which is just the what of Baybayin. Yeah, that's why, like what you said, when you were approached by the Apple Hiking Society coordinator, if that's how you call the person, you said you were a facilitator. You know, you put words on how you put the process, the how of being this person to let Baybayin be in the mainstream. You know, either you know it or you don't. You are being animated to share this knowledge to anybody who's willing to listen. And take note of the word I heard from you. You have to be ready. Continue to practice what is the best in our culture because we are human and there is no way actually to survive in this earth or in this physical world but to reconnect, right, to be in the collective and to aim for the betterment of everybody. And thank you, Minnie and for Ginhawa, of all the works you're doing. And you have not failed me. Every time we say, hey, Minnie, let's collaborate, you're always there. You're ready to come in and say, oh, let's do it. Ikembular natin yan.
Vocabulary, yes.
I think that
That's true. I mean, like, this is,
we just do
I
it,
mean,
right?
yeah,
It's amazing. It's amazing how real friendship doesn't need constant communication. We know that when we need each other, that we are behind their backs.
yes.
So thank you so much, Minnie, for your time. This is just the beginning. So we appreciate you. And if there's anything that you want to promote, if there's anything that you want our listener to learn more or a final message to all the Filipinos around the world and who will listen continuously, um, I mean, in their search as well, do you have any message for them? Because, like what you said, it is a reality that we have this journey to go on.
Oh, first, thank you, Joanne, for this invitation and to whatever that inkling that allowed you to invite perhaps your ancestors of the past in the future, which are the children.
Mm-hmm.
And to all the Filipinos and non-Filipinos who is viewing or listening, um, it's always good to remember who you are, to reconnect to who you are, perhaps in the food, in the smell of the food flowers that your grandmother or mother cooked, or perhaps what you see the one you're wearing. At the end of the day, or when you wake up in the morning, you breathe in who you are, as a person, as a Filipino, and who you are becoming, and breathe out as a better person. Ah, and there's an intangible thread, cannot be seen, that connects us all.
You make me
And that
cry.
is, yeah. Even that you're holding that tree, that mint,
Yeah,
it's
it's a citronella. It's
yes, and
mhm,
and that's already a connection that you have to life, to the trees.
that's true.
And then something that is tangible. I would like to invite everyone on August 31, 2025 for an this is more of the for adults
Mhm.
Baybayin session. It's 5:30 p.m. on
7:30.
Sunday, Philippine time. This is not really for children, so to speak. That will be another session. So 15 years old and up. It's Baybayin at pagkilala sa sarili. And again, it's introductory to self-awareness, cultural awareness.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's more to say, but right now I'm here and I think that's enough for now to
Mhm.
digest. So thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
I'll
much,
just
Minnie. Maraming salamat.
yes.
Maraming salamat,
Salamat.
Minnie. Oh my gulay. I really appreciate you and I feel so good. I feel so good talking to you
A-
today.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
happy that you are wearing that, and I'm so wearing the shirt that
Yes,
my
yes,
buyers
yes,
have
yes.
designed. Yes.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, okay.
So
Okay,
all
Minnie.
right. Thank you.
Any contact number, any socials that they need to follow you?
Yes, Facebook
Facebook.
by buying creativity workshop classes. It's a page. I think it's there, the one that I've
Yeah,
shown
I
you.
think I've seen that. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All righty.
All
All
right.
right, Minnie. Thank you, and we will talk. I will message you on Messenger. Thank you and mabuhay. Regards to
Thank
everybody.
you.
Mahal ko kayong
Salamat.
lahat. Regards
Mahal
kay
ko kayong
Miss
lahat.
Leia and everybody.